KLKS time na. At ang topic natin ngayon, paano ba ang paggawa ng query sa Microsoft Access using the select and from. So start na tayo. Start na tayo ng demonstration natin. So last time, naka-create na tayo ng table using employee and materials. So punta lang tayo sa design view. So lang idadagdag natin ay gender sa ilalim ng age. So click lang natin yung department, right click natin yung mouse, then insert rows lang tayo. Okay, so pwede na tayong magdagdag ng field name. So dagdag lang tayo ng gender. So ang gawin natin na gender of course is short text. By the way, itong age natin gagawin ko muna siyang short text. So later on explain ko sa inyo kung bakit ginawa ko siyang short text. Okay, so then save natin. Okay, then proceed tayo sa datasheet view. Okay guys, narito na tayo ulit sa ating table. So lagyan lang natin ng gender value. So gawin ko na lang ay F kung ito ay female, M kung ito ay male. We're done editing our table. So let us go now with our query. Okay, then go to the query design. Then we will be using the employee. Then add and close. Okay, we do have now the query 1. Itong GUI part sa ilalim, we call it the QBE. And later on, magkakaroon tayo ng panibagong tutorial para sa QBE natin. Pero for the meantime, we will concentrate on the SQL. There are 3 ways on how to proceed on our SQL view. The first way, we do have our status bar SQL view. The second way, of course, our view, the SQL view. And using our table, right-click your mouse, we do have, of course, the SQL view. Okay, using the select and from, using the select, you can only use field name. Any field name we have on our table. And from the word from, you can only use the table name. Okay, so we do have on our employee, the field name ID, name, surname, age, gender, department, position, address, year of service. Okay, so let's start identifying our query number 1. So for our query number 1, let's have the name as well as the surname, name separated by comma for the next field name, then age. Okay, so let us try to have our output. So design and run. So we do have our output number 1 with regards with the identifying the selected field name. So let us save our query number 1 or query 1. So let us make it Q1. Okay, so what have you noticed? So on our queries, we do have now Q1. Okay, so our command again, our SQL code or our SQL command. So we're just using select name, surname, and age, wherein the selected field name are separated by comma. Okay, let us proceed now with our query number 2. So what is this query number 2 all about? So all we have to do now is to go again with the create, query design, add together with close, then query SQL view. Okay, let us proceed now with the next one. So the next one, always remember that putting an asterisk on our select, it simply identifies that we're just selecting all of the field name on our table. So again, using our asterisk, we're just selecting all of the field name in our table. So once we click run, automatic, we do have also the same output as the table that we have. So let us try to save this one. So we do have query 2. Okay. Okay, let us move now with our query number 3. So what is query number 3 all about? So same procedure. So create, query design, add, and close. So right click your mouse for the SQL view. Okay, so sa query 1 natin, we learned how to view a part of our database. For our query number 2, so we learned that using the asterisk, it is also the same as loading your database. Okay, here's another query for our query number 3. Okay, for our query number 3, so this time, we will be using the name as pangalan and the surname as edad, apelido. Okay, let's try to include the gender as kasarian. Okay, let's try to run, design, and run. Okay, so this time, let us try to save first. Okay, so what we have learned on our query number 3, so we can have a temporary field name, just like pangalan, apelido, and kasarian. And our command is, by simply using the as, we can identify a temporary field name or a temporary value of our field name in our output. Okay, let us go now with our next query. So create again, then query design, add, and close. So we are now on our query number 4. So for our query number 4, it's actually a simple technical value. So what is this technical value all about? What the user's input, basically, that will be the user's output. So what does it mean? So let's take, for example, I will be using select, then I will be typing the small letter name together with surname, together with gender, together with age. For our query number 5, it is all about sorting. So I do have my select name, surname, age, and gender. So in order for us to sort, we will be using order by. So order by is a statement wherein it will be needed a field name to sort ascendingly or descendingly. By default, once you are using the order by, it is of ascending order. So let's run it. Okay, here my first error. So the error identifies characters found after the end of the SQL statement. So what is this all about? So I will be pressing OK. So actually, in our SQL, if you will notice, the select and from ended with the semicolon. So identifying the semicolon, it means the end of the SQL code or the SQL statement, but we added order by surname. So in order for us to eliminate the character errors found in our SQL statement, we have to erase the semicolon. Okay, so that's it. So let's try to run. Okay, so we don't have any error at all. So always remember that you have to erase the semicolon if we added additional SQL statement on our SQL code. Okay, so we do have now the output wherein it is sorted ascendingly based on the surname. Okay, so let's save it. So we call it Q5. On our query number 6, let us try to use the select name, age, position, address from employee, order by age. To output your information descendingly, you have to write DESC at the end of the order by. So let us go now with the output. Our query, let me just remind you that query number 6 will give us another error message. So let's try to find out. So I do have now another error message. So we call it actually enter parameter value. Okay, let me just remind you that once you encounter enter parameter value, do not enter anything on the text box because it will ruin your database information. So what to do is to check the field name at the top of the text box. In other words, once you encountered the field name at the top of the text box, something is wrong with that field name, just like the position on our text box. So let us try to check the spelling of the field name. So just simply close our alert. Then so typographical error, I do have my position. Okay, so we do have now our output wherein our age descendingly displayed on our database. Save query 6. Okay, for our query number 7, let us go now with the last part of our basic SQL. So this time, we will be identifying additional functionality error with our SQL. The var value. So always remember that the var value is for our condition. So what this condition all about? So let us assume we wanted to output only the female in our list. Or it can also be we wanted to output the employee with the service of 10 years and above. So we wanted to output the information of Liam Kent only, or even we wanted to output all of the information or all of the employee from the IT department or something like that. So let us continue with our query number 7. And query number 7 is all about the condition. Okay, so let us move now with the condition where, okay, so where gender is equal to M. Okay, so using the where command, always remember that once we are using the field name that we declare as data type for short text, a double quote must be used to identify the value. Okay, so let us try to run. So design and run. So in other words, on our output, we do have only the list of male, surname, age, and address. Okay, let us move now with query number 8. Okay, on our query number 8, so I have here the select surname, position, department, and age together with the from employee. So I will be trying to output the employee's age above 35 years old. So where age greater than or equal to 35. We'll encounter another alert. So let us try to find out what this alert all about. So let us go now with run. So I do have now my next alert. So we call it data type mismatch in criteria expression. So what does it mean? In other words, every time that you will encounter the error or the alert for the data type mismatch, it simply identify that we come up with the wrong declaration of our data type. Okay, so let us try to correct our data type in order for us to avoid the error or the alert for data type mismatch. So what to do? All you have to do now is to go on your table. So let us move now with our design view. Then all you have to do is to click yes. Okay, so have here the age under the data type short text. So what to do? So let's try to change it as number. Okay, what will happen? Since we already saved our table and it is impossible for us to change our data type in our design view. So what are we going to do? So all we have to do is to go on our datasheet view. So going back with our datasheet view. Okay, so let us go now with our field name age. So what to do? To go on our menu bar, fields, then go on the data type under the formatting tab. So the data type is short text. All we have to do is to make it as number. Okay, then click yes. Automatically, we are now identifying that our age with the data type number. Okay, so let us go now with our query number 8. If we do have an output or still we do have the alert. So let's try to run. Okay, so this time we don't have any alert. So in other words, that is the reason why you have to declare the correct data type of your field names. Okay, let us save this one as query number 8. Q8. So, okay. Okay, so let us try to run this one. Okay, let us move now with our query number 9. For our query number 9, let us try to output all of the information of a particular employee. Let us assume we are trying to output Vivian Yen as a part of our query number 9. So what to do if we wanted to output a particular information on our SQL? So this time it is the job of our primary key. So all you have to do is to identify the primary key number or the primary key of a particular information in order for you to output that particular employee. So let's try to have our SQL again. So select asterisk. So I will be using asterisk because we wanted to output all of the information of that particular employee. So still we will be using where ID equals 3. So let's try to run, design and run. So I have here now only the information of Vivian Yen. So let us try to save our query number 9. where department is equal to IT department. Okay, so let us go now with our next alert. So let's try to run. So we do have now our next alert, and basically the alert identifies syntax error, missing operator in query expression, surname where department is equal to IT. Okay, so what does it mean? So in other words, once we are using the order by together with the where, always remember that the order by and the where uses a hierarchy, wherein you must be using the where condition before the order by. So I will be erasing the order by, and I will be placing the order by right after the where condition. Okay, so let's try to run our query number 10. Okay, so in other words, so our query number 10, the information from the IT department, and it is arranged alphabetically based on their surname. So let us try to save our query number 10, Q10.
Lead me by the hand and help me face the rising sun. Comfort me through all the pain that life may bring. There's no other home